This is the Jae Choe Show, brought to you by Karate Beyond. Discipline, focus, confidence. KarateBeyond.com. Let's begin.
Podcast forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, what a great way to get to know the people that are around you than by doing a podcast.
I think it's a great idea.
You know, all for the most selfish of reasons. There's no monetization. There's no agenda. There's none of that.
Yeah.
And I'm providing what could be considered a service to the community.
Absolutely.
Because you're just having a normal sit-down conversation, uninterrupted.
Yeah. So I had a conversation actually with Jamie not too long ago that I wish there was some kind of platform up there or someone that would just take the time to interview people within the community and just make it content out there, like, hey, tell me about your job, or hey, what's going on in Lakeland right now, and and just for the residents of Lakeland, just to get to know not just the leaders, but just people, and have them tell their story.
Yeah.
You know, because we know what they do, but what's their story?
Right.
Yeah.
This is essentially what this show is.
Yeah.
But I haven't pigeonholed myself into doing a certain thing a certain way. Mm-hmm. I think once a show, because I see podcasts popping up left and right, and they have like some sort of format they're trying to stick to, or some sort of theme, right? Or if it's for entrepreneurs, then this is a show for entrepreneurs. Oh, this is for local businesses, and this is going to be a local business show,
Right?
Or it just gets boring after a while,
Yeah,
because you just want to stop listening to it,
yeah.
rather than just being, hey, it's just interesting to listen to.
Sure.
It's interesting. It's at times funny, at times touching, at times infuriating, and it's just a show. That's it.
So let me ask you, I'm not a connoisseur or a follower of podcasts. I'm still kind of just stuck to my radio. I listen to Howard Stern on the radio.
I love Howard Stern.
He's the best. That's who I was listening to before I came over.
Godfather of all things.
So who are your favorite podcasts that you follow, or any interviewers?
Okay, so podcasts that I followed from the very beginning are ones like the Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
I hear that name.
I
got to get into
podcast.
that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, he's the inspiration for this one, really.
Yeah. It's so funny how he's become such a dynamic
he's a giant
host, where, back in my day, I think we're around the same age, right?
I'm 43.
Yeah, I'm 45.
Okay.
So it's easy just to be lazy and think of him as the host of the Fear Factor show.
Yeah, he's a Fear Factor guy.
But he has really built a career for himself, and it's multifaceted. I mean, he's the UFC guy, he's the comedian, he's the host, he's extremely thoughtful. I've enjoyed who he has become.
I think he's got a great thing, and I think people gravitate towards it because I think he's just sincerely interested.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's sincerely interested about the hosts, or the people that come onto the show.
Sure.
And to certain topics. That's it.
Yeah.
And if someone's sincere, I think people sniff out insincerity a mile away.
Well, you've watched and listened to those interviews. You can tell when a host is just going through the motions, and it's just like, oh, who's showing up today? Okay, here's my list of canned answers, and let me just ask some lazy questions. And then you watch someone like a Howard Stern, or perhaps even a Joe Rogan. It's like, he's done some research here, and he seems to be, if nothing else, genuinely interested in what this person is doing, what they're about, or some other backstory that a zillion interviewers before him never thought to ask.
Sure. And that gets to you right now. Jae Choe Show, episode 58, I think, or 57.
we won't put a number on it.
Okay, all right. Anyway, I'm here with Gate Arty. Welcome, brother man. How are you?
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me.
So getting to the point of why do I have you on the show, and what the hell are we going to talk about? I don't know. I mean, I see you around all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, you know what? Let's have Gate on.
I guess
show.
the first question is, why has it taken you 58 episodes to invite me in here?
I already offered you, damn it! I already offered you to come on the show, but you were in Thailand.
The people don't need to know that. I like to feel jilted, so it's fine.
No, you were. I think you were in Thailand at the time.
Yeah.
When I offered for you to come on, but no. Tell us. You know, did you grow up in Thailand and come here to the United States, or were you born here in the States?
So I was born in Bangkok, Thailand. My family moved here when I was 4, and we basically came over here with nothing.
Here in Lakeland.
Actually, we started in Plant City, of all places. Can you believe? You know, imagine,
dude. That I kind of. I bitched and moaned about coming to Lakeland from South Korea, and you went to Plant City.
We moved to Lakeland from Plant City, and I thought I was in the big city. So that would have been circa 78, because I moved here when I was 4, and my parents settled into this Greek restaurant where my mom worked the line and my dad washed dishes. And
okay, back up.
Yeah.
What brought your parents to Plant City, of all places?
So they knew they wanted to move to the States to give my brother and I a better education.
Okay.
Give us more opportunities. And my uncle was already established in Plant City. So
how did he end up in Plant City?
You know, that's a great question, and one I've never thought to ask. He's a doctor, so he was just an OB in OBGYN in Plant City. What took him there, I have no idea.
Okay.
But he owned a house there, so we followed him, so to speak, and that's how the Artys ended up in Plant City, I guess.
Let's look at the 70s right now.
Yeah.
Okay. 1970s.
Yeah.
Polk County.
Mm-hmm.
Asian population.
Yeah. Me and you probably.
None. Very, very small populace of Asian people.
Yeah.
In a predominantly Caucasian and black area.
Yeah.
How many do you remember how many Asian people or how many Asian kids were in your elementary class?
So the answer is none.
You were the only guy.
I was the only guy when I was at Cumbie Elementary at the time. And when I started school there, it was me and another African-American guy.
Uh-huh. So you're the only two minorities.
That's it.
In the classroom.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, that was definitely an interesting experience.
That was the same thing for me. In elementary school, there was me, one black kid, and another Asian girl who I want to say she's Vietnamese.
Uh-huh.
And everybody else is white.
Let me ask you, I really struggled with my ethnicity early on because it was, I wanted to be, being different at that age was...
You wanted to be normal.
Yeah, I just wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
So when I finally didn't attend school with another Asian until junior high, it took a while. So I really, I hate to say it, but I wanted to be with the white kids.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
I picked and chose when I was really Asian, and when I was just normal, or what would be considered just like everybody else.
I feel that,
right? So because I grew up in a martial arts thing, right? So when I needed to turn on Bruce Lee, and I could really embrace being Bruce Lee,
right?
And then when I didn't want to be Bruce Lee, well, and I was just like everybody else. I was just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I kind of picked and choose. Now, when it came to academics, right? Like the stereotypes did not follow me.
Samesies.
Right? Like
Yeah.
math, that was my worst subject. Everyone's looking at me like, hey, you're supposed to be good at math. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't meet that stereotype on that
Yeah.
one.
I academics, I wasn't bad at it, but man, I didn't enjoy it. And here it is, you know, if you're Asian, well, at least I won't say if you're Asian, but if you're in my household, well, let's be a doctor now.
Right. Oh no.
Well-
Yeah. As an Asian family,
Yeah.
either you're going to become a doctor
Yeah.
or a lawyer. Maybe an engineer.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be in the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
But more so a doctor or a
Yeah.
lawyer. Yeah.
It was just, I knew it wasn't in the cards, but man, let's do what the parents want, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've quickly found out that I just do not have the mental acumen to become a physician. I just didn't. I didn't have it in me. I mean, University of Florida graduate here, got a degree in architecture, which is, hey, pretty respectable. You tell your parents you're going to become an
Absolutely
architect, you're like,
respectable.
okay, I can live with that.
Yeah. How about when you graduate and you tell them, hey, I think I'm going to sell. How do you think that went over at my house?
Not good.
No.
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 So where did you go to school?
USF in Tampa.
Okay, and what'd you graduate with?
Business.
Business.
Yeah.
Okay, business degree.
Yeah.
And then.
Clearly, you're going to go back to get your master's, right, son? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to work on that. Let me just take a summer off.
Right.
Meanwhile, frantically looking for anything to do, then have to go back to school again because I barely got through the first 4. There's no way.
Right.
There's just no way I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
So let me just do something.
I think in school, my academics gravitated toward the language arts. So English language, history, that sort of thing I excelled in. And I think it was probably because of my insecurities. I'm going to be honest. I think I did my very, very best in English so that I would perhaps be less Asian. Now that I think about it, and I'm like, why wasn't I good in math?
Yeah.
Why did I not put an emphasis in that?
Yeah.
No, because most likely because I was insecure about being Asian.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Right. So I really, I got A's in on those classes. Right. I think the SAT, my scores weren't that great, but I got in because my essay was so good.
Really?
Yes. I got into UF because my essay. I want to say because of my essay. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I don't even think they do the essay portion anymore in the SAT.
I don't recall doing that at all. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're
or was
old
it during
guys.
the ACT? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, like right after school, the thought of doing more school.
Right.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I did not want to go back to school. Hell no. I spent 5 years trying to get my
Yeah.
trying to get my bachelor's.
I mean, I just learned today about your architecture background. So
Yeah,
that's-
University of Florida College of Architecture, class of '99.
Yeah.
Yeah. Degree in landscape architecture. I want to design golf courses because I loved playing golf as well as doing like resorts and urban planning.
That's kind of Asian. I'm going to give you that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doing the whole golf thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played a lot of golf growing up. My dad, he's always on the golf course. Did you?
No.
No? Did you play any sports?
So structured, not at all. I did tennis.
All right. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That's
no
an
really,
Asian thing.
no,
Yeah, sure, sure,
no really team sports. I loved playing pickup basketball.
Really?
But when you're 5'8" Asian and 110 pounds, I wasn't built for that sport.
But hey,
I was built for math. That's what I was built for. So how cruel is that? I had a body built for math and a brain built for selling.
you didn't do like any martial arts growing up?
None.
You didn't go back through that stereotype?
None.
No?
I tried. I wanted to.
You
be
come
good.
from a land where the people are the nicest people.
Land of smiles.
Ever.
We are. I appreciate you bringing that to light.
People are so nice.
Yeah.
Yet you're stone cold killers.
Yeah.
With the art of Muay Thai.
Yeah, it's pretty vicious. So, a few years back, I've visited Thailand, and actually, my friend Chris McLaughlin decided to go over there. Yeah, CMAC met me over there, and we went to. I told him, "Listen, I've never been to a Muay Thai event. I think we should go. Are you into it?" And he was super into it. We sat ringside, and
Which stadium did you guys go to?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, but it was sweaty. It was hot. It was,
People were betting.
Oh, just, I was wondering, well, why aren't people ringside? Why is the crowd like all in the back?
Yeah.
And
That's
they're
where the
back
action
there.
is.
Yeah. That's where they were gambling.
Yeah.
So it was just so loud. And, you can tell there's so much action, betting action going on. And we're sitting there watching it, and I was really struck by how just brutal some of the kicks and the punching.
Those guys, you talk about being hard on your kids here in the United States. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Some of those kids, some of those young men that you've probably seen fight, they grew up in the camps, so far as Muay Thai camps, martial arts camps, where they slept, where they ate, where they bathed, where they got their schooling from or nearby at a Muay Thai camp. That's what they grew up with.
I believe that.
And they fight at a very early age, and hundreds of fights under their belt before they actually go pro.
So let me tell you, when we were watching the fight, there wasn't. I keep saying fight. There were many fights. There were probably a dozen fights.
Yeah.
And there was a stage where they were having children come out to fight. And I would say they were probably your son's age. I mean,
probably like 9, 10 years old.
They were small and maybe even younger. I mean, they were just tiny kids. And they were just coming out and just pummeling each other. It was hard to watch.
Real hard to watch.
Yeah,
right?
and that's when we decided to leave. That was just a little too much.
Well, I mean,
but it's the normal,
right? That is the norm. But you think of it in terms of socioeconomic status. Your parents can't afford to have you. You have limited options.
Yeah.
In certain parts of the world, and especially in Thailand.
Yeah.
Well, here's an opportunity here. You can go and learn to fight, be clothed and fed, have a place to sleep, and perhaps get a little bit of an education.
And some of those children are the primary moneymakers.
That's right.
For the family.
That's right. At an adolescent age.
Yeah. So who are we to say?
Yeah. I mean, so when we talk about, we shouldn't be too hard on our kids, it's a relative comment.
Absolutely.
Because, man, other kids in different countries, they have it. Just, they're sleeping on dirt floors.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got flip-flops and they were wearing the same 2 shirts.
Yeah.
Every other day, I mean.
I didn't travel back to Thailand until I'm going to say my freshman or sophomore year in college. And that's when I noticed the huge gap between the poor, and when we say poor overseas, it's a different kind of poor. It's dirt floor, thatch roofs.
Mud
outhouse,
walls.
Kind of poor versus the middle class.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, okay, I get it.
I mean, what would be considered middle class in Thailand? What is the on what level of existence are we talking about? Are we talking about having a home or an apartment, having a car for the household? Or the dad is out working a solid job and the mom is at home, or what would be considered middle class in Thailand?
That's a great question. So I would say that we, in speaking to my parents and in speaking to my family, I would say we were a little upper middle class, probably in Thailand. My mom didn't have to work. My dad worked. we were seemingly able to cobble a nice little existence there. So, what would middle class look like? I think middle class would be, I guess, not too dissimilar from what it is stateside, but maybe the luxuries are just a little bit different.
Right.
It may be 2 mopeds in the garage rather than
Right.
two
Sure.
SUVs or something like that.
Sure. Right.
So
would be the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Would be. Because I mean, I look at us and I look at how well off we are with the whole first world problems thing.
Sure.
And I'm like, God, we're so soft. We are so soft.
Absolutely.
We really are in comparison. And my family and I, we went to Korea over the break, over Christmas.
Great videos.
Thank you. It was so much fun. And
seafood pod. I still
you saw
love
the
that.
octopus and everything, right?
I loved it. Yeah. I was so jealous.
Yeah. But I mean, my kids said, they made a remark like, we want to live here. We want to live in Korea.
How'd that make you feel?
I felt that was nice.
Yeah.
It felt nice for me to hear that they are so comfortable being in their ethnic motherland,
Sure.
if you will. But the reality is that they would hate it. At the end of the day, they would hate it. Because right now, my kids are on vacation mode.
Sure.
They don't know about everyday mode in Korea, what those kids go through academically. We're talking about waking up at the crack of dawn, having a quick breakfast, going straight to school.
Yeah. It's work.
And school ends, but that's when you have a quick bite of dinner. You might not even come home for dinner. You may have dinner like elsewhere. And then you go to post school.
Sure.
They go to these things called hagwons, where it's like, think of like Kumon or Sylvan or some sort of a place where you supplement your academics by doing more. And then you do that till late, maybe 7 o'clock, and then you're home.
Wow. That's
And
no
then you
joke.
go to bed. And you wake up and you do it all over again, 6 days a week. Not 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Yeah. Did you have to that came out wrong. Did you grow up there at all, or were
So I moved here to the States probably, let's see, it was in 81. So I was 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5 at the time.
So-
Very
yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Very similar. And we ended up here in Lakeland. Of all places, we ended up in Lakeland. What the hell?
Well, why did he come to Lakeland?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you the reason why. Well, he came here in a very roundabout fashion. I think, there's an entire podcast that we can do dedicated on that whole thing. But he had an associate, a friend he knew in the martial arts community that was situated in Winter Haven, and came to visit him. And he's like, you know what, Lakeland looks to be a growing place. It's probably a good idea to put.
You could be the guy.
Put a school in here, and that's what he did. And that was it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you could have chose Orlando, Tampa, any metro area. But you chose Lakeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get that question a lot. Why are you in Lakeland? And I don't know how to take that, because I love Lakeland.
I do. Now I love Lakeland.
Yeah, I didn't love it growing up.
That's right.
I wanted to get the hell out of here. But, I don't think that's unique to me. I think growing up, you just want to get.
That's just teenage angst.
Yeah, the
I think
angst
everybody's
just
got it.
wants to take you out of here. But I guess it just means that there's really no force of nature or it's all happenstance that brings us anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a master plan. We're not sitting overseas and, my parents weren't rubbing their hands together and like, okay.
Incense in front of them, in front of Buddha.
The conquest of America begins in Lakeland by way of Plant City.
The hardest working people that I know are Asian people. I'm gonna be really frank. The hardest working people that I know are Asian people in particular, Koreans.
Mm-hmm.
That's my, I mean, I'm talking just work ethic.
Yeah.
Is through the roof. Not saying that everybody else doesn't have, and this is not like a a blanket statement, if you will. But
there could be a lot of people listening to this that really hate us right now.
Right. But I mean, look, living in Korea, okay, that's all you do is work.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I don't want to live in Korea.
Yeah. And why you don't want your kids to live in Korea?
My wife's sister, her husband, the man works more hours than I've seen anyone here in the United States work, and he's got a software job.
Yeah.
He's got a desk job. He's a desk jockey. Yet he leaves the home at 7:38. He doesn't get back home till about 11 o'clock, sometimes midnight.
Really?
6 days a week.
That's not an existence.
Okay, so when I say that my frame of reference of Korean people being the hardest working people that I've ever known, there it is right there.
Yeah.
His vacations, he gets a week off the entire year.
And I mean, working 6 days, it's hardly a come down. That one day, you're just already preparing to go back to work the next day.
That's right. Now, they have a kid. He hardly ever sees his kid.
Yeah.
He sees him on that one day. When he wakes up, he sees his kid, who's 6 years old now. Mm-hmm. He sees him for an hour when he wakes up. He doesn't see him when he comes back home. He sees him on Sunday.
Wow.
And he's got a good job. That is what is considered a really good, stable job.
Yeah.
That brings in income to be considered middle class.
So I would venture to guess that probably his upbringing was not too dissimilar from that.
Yeah. And his family, I mean, he comes from a pretty relatively affluent family.
Sure.
So when I say that Korean people are the hardest working people that I know, hey, pony up. Give me some examples. Give me some examples of that amount of work.
Yeah.
Dedicated to their job.
Yeah.
To put food on the table. Yeah. And I'm sure there's other examples out there. I mean, gosh, I say that, just to be blunt, of course. I'm sure, there's other accounts, different ethnicities, but this, I'm just coming from my perspective.
Sure.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, all I can really refer back to is, my parents and how much they worked. And I mean, we didn't do family vacations growing up. I've literally never went on a family vacation as a child anywhere. We would go to Disney on, Thanksgiving because that was one day they didn't work, and that was that was our vacation. But there was
it was everything. It was like, it was the best, best thing ever.
It was awesome. But
how come I can't go to camp with Johnny?
Yeah.
During the summer.
Steven went to Niagara Falls. Why can't we do that? So
but then that leads me to say how great we have it here in the States.
Absolutely.
Right? Because other countries, man, they're working themselves to the bone.
Yeah.
And here I am, and what would be considered the lap of luxury, talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And having a nice conversation. And, after this, we can just be like, hey, hey, let's go grab some lunch or something. Or you want to get some coffee?
Let's go to the joinery.
We'll go to the joinery, So we're just lucky. People just don't understand how lucky we are.
Absolutely.
And people will bitch and moan and complain about how rough it is in the United States right now. No, you don't know it.
Right.
You don't know shit.
Right.
It's not rough here.
Right.
It's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
These first world problems that we're encountering,
yeah,
it's not really that bad at the end of the day.
So, do you and your children travel quite a bit? It sounds like you do. Yeah,
we try to. Yeah.
I think that's really important.
It is. It is just to see how other people live.
Absolutely.
And not be like, oh, hey, we're a bunch of, explorers and look at these people. And no, nothing
It's
like
a
that.
worldview.
No. A worldview. That's right.
Yeah. And it's important when they're that age. I mean, yeah, sure, they don't have to understand everything. Where it's like, they don't know that the kids their age are actually working from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. by the time they get home. But they don't need to. They see the other things that are equally as important.
Right. Yeah. You sell homes.
I do.
You got probably one of the slickest branding, things here in town.
Thank you.
With the G, right? It's so slick.
Thank you very much.
It's so clean. It's so to the point. It's so recognizable.
We're proud of it. It's definitely when I decided to sell real estate, I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that I wanted to be proud of what I did.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be professional. And I wanted it. I didn't want to be the corny salesman that did salesman kind of things. I wanted to carry myself and really project a certain image, and I think it probably started with that G, and kind of we built it from there. And I think it's become pretty recognizable, at least here locally.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And getting that feedback makes me feel good.
Yeah, man, it really is. I mean, it's great. I mean, people know you. People know the name.
Yeah.
People know the logo.
Yeah.
Around town.
Yeah.
What got you started into selling homes? I mean, you got your business degree, right?
Yeah.
You could have done so many different things.
Yeah.
Yet you're swinging lots, dude. Like, what's going on?
I don't know. It's funny that you say that, but I don't know what else I could have done. Back when the market was going south, I actually sat back and was like, what the hell am I going to do if I don't right this ship? Because I don't know how to do anything else
besides sell homes.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay. All right. So what year did you get started?
So to answer your question, I think I got started so I've been in this about 22 years or so right now. And I just wanted to invest. I was like, you at the time at midnight, you turn on the radio, turn on the TV, and there would be those two midget guys on a yacht with beautiful women, and they're like, this could be you. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm like, yes,
Wolf of Wall Street type stuff.
I want to be those two little guys. I want to do that. And I thought I should start investing in real estate. Never mind that I don't have any money. We'll figure that part out.
Right.
Let me just learn about real estate. And it just kind of took off from there. Went to school. I went to class and got my license. And I thought that getting a real estate license would be like having a driver's license. You have this little thing, and it's like, okay, I'm ready
now
to.
You can sell homes.
Yeah, start giving me houses. And it didn't work that way. I figured out that you had to hang your license with a company. You had to work there for 2 years. Then you had to, if you wanted to establish a brokerage and go through all these. And just, again, by happenstance, I just started interviewing around, hung my license, told my parents, just give me some time. I think I might be onto something here. And I just sold it that I want to invest. I want to buy. I want to build a portfolio of assets. And they're like, okay,
yeah, sure,
we'll give you a year to figure that out. But then you're going to go back to school. It's like, yeah, but the stuff I learned this year, I'll be able to refine when I go to school, Mom and Dad. And they were cool with it. Again, great sales job. And then a year later, I started actually making money. Little money,
right?
First of my own money that I've ever made in my life without any affiliation with my parents.
Yeah.
So they just kind of cut me some slack, and I was still living at home during the early years, thankfully, or I probably wouldn't have made it. And it just became a business. And
was this pre-crash or after crash?
Pre-crash.
Okay.
Very, very pre-crash. So this would have been around 1998. 97, 98.
Oh,
somewhere.
jeez.
Yeah.
You're.
I'm ancient.
That was 98. So that's like high time.
Yeah, so I've gone through a few cycles at this point, but yeah, it was pre-Trump Apprentice,
Okay.
even,
Yeah.
and then when that show came out, originally it was like it really started to give real estate some sex appeal, right?
Right.
I mean, when I started in my office, I was the youngest person there by many, many years.
Was it at Keller?
No, Keller didn't exist at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it was a company called Prudential.
Okay.
And I worked there, and the G, the logo, the thing that you're referring to now didn't exist until I came to Keller.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
that's when I started to fine tune my business a little bit.
Gotta excuse us guys, because we got. I don't know if you're gonna hear it or the mic's gonna pick it up, but someone's with a chainsaw is outside.
It's not us.
Like cutting down trees. Anyway, okay. So, what happened to you when it came to the crash? When it came, like, hey, look, everyone was riding high on the hog. 06, you started seeing glimmers of like, in 07, and then boom, 08 occurred. What happened?
Yeah, I guess people smarter than I saw it coming. I had never been through a market like that, so I thought it was normal. I just figured, with the money we were all making, this is just going to last forever. You were a teenager again. When you're a teenager, nothing can stop you.
Yeah,
you're going to live forever.
Back. You'll bounce back. It's okay.
I guess that was the professional manifestation of how I felt, and then all of a sudden, it's like someone turned out the lights. The phone stopped ringing. The stopped getting emails. I mean, it just literally stopped, and I was like, "Oh, well, how long is this going to last?
Yeah,
this is going to be over. People are going to start selling." So I probably just waited around for 6 months for stuff to happen, and
nothing happened.
And then I started to freak out. I really, really started to freak out. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do anything else.
Full on panic mode.
Just full on, and not just the normal panic. I'm talking about the panic that was instilled into me by my parents. I mean, that.
Right. I told you should have gone back to school.
Everything they said was coming true. And they literally said, I told you.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you.
It's like, so that
you should have been a doctor.
That's right.
And you're probably thinking, why didn't I become a doctor? What's wrong with me?
You could be saving lives right now. But I don't know how to answer that question sufficiently, other than I just figured it out. I recreated the business. I ditched the stuff that was working, and the stuff that was working, it was working for everyone. By the way,
right? It wasn't a secret.
Yeah, a corpse could sell homes back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it was too easy. It didn't take a skill set. So I probably actually the market was probably the worst thing at that point that happened to me, because I just got lazy. I was taking orders at that point. Oh, you want to buy a house? Okay, this is what you're going to buy, because it's all there is. I mean, it was too easy. I had probably got to a point where I wasn't assisting people in the manner that I had hoped I was doing. I was just trying to find a means to an end at that point. And people were just so desperate to buy and sell and make money and tell the story of their success that lost in the mix were the overall benefit of the client. Mm-hmm. So,
are you seeing glimmers of peak time like we had before now? And what I'm talking about is, are you seeing glimmers of what could potentially be another disaster?
Yeah. So when you go through something like that, you're always going to have PTSD. And, every season when the phone gets a little quiet, or the contracts are a little slow. You're like, oh my God, it's here, it's happening. We're going to go through it again. Sell everything.
Yeah.
But once I take a deep breath and begin to rationalize things and kind of look at the climate, I think the economy is much more well positioned to deal with a potential downturn than it ever was before.
So you don't think it'll be as drastic as it was in 08?
It can't be. It just can't be. I mean, you had loans back then where there was a company, a defunct company,
Countrywide,
that actually had a program called the Quick and Easy, and all you needed was
a driver's license,
a social security number, and a verification that you were employed. That was it. And you can get a loan.
Stated everything.
Yeah. And at first, second, and I mean, it's just, it's not impossible to get a loan now, but the banks, the financial institutions are doing a much better job.
It's starting to get a lot easier again.
Yeah. You do have that.
Starting to get a lot easier again.
Sure.
I mean, like, hey, I saw recently somewhere there's like, hey, stated is back. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Stated income is back? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean stated income is back?
So there are always going to be...
For those people that don't know what stated means, is that you, when they try to verify how much money you make...
You tell them.
You tell them how much money you make, and you could be lying.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm trying to buy a $500,000 home. Well, guess what? I make $2 million a year.
Could you imagine that working in any other aspect of life? I'd like to go to Harvard. Well, what is your report card? Well,
straight
funny that you should ask.
Perfect score on my SAT.
Absolutely.
Take my word for it.
But somehow with money,
right.
we've done that.
Yeah.
So there is going to be, adjustments, corrections, ebbs and flows in the market. And, probably 2, 3, 4% interest rates aren't anywhere near historical norms. So listen, people, they're going to go up at some point. Right. It's going to happen. It doesn't mean that the market is about to collapse.
Yeah.
I think we've been riding high for quite some time, and the market's been good. My advice to you is quit waiting for something better to happen, because you might be in a really good situation right now. Right. And that's the lesson I took from that disastrous market was quit waiting for things to get better. If they're excellent right now, just take a victory. Yeah. Just take a victory lap, round the bases. It's fine. It doesn't matter that you a couple ground balls got you to home plate. It's fine.
Like I just wanna get a loan right now just because the rates are so low.
Yeah, you should.
And like sit on it and do nothing with it. And wait for the market to take a giant dip and like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, and I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with taking a HELOC and just sitting on it and allow for an opportunity to present itself.
Yeah.
Investing, I know the people that are looking to invest in real estate are a little frustrated right now because there aren't a lot of investment opportunities. But just stay patient. Stay patient. It'll come.
Yeah. Anything else, man? You got a wife?
I do.
You're married.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Hi, Chastity. How are you? So my wife and I have been together for a decade plus now, I'm guessing. I guess I should know a date. She'll remind me when we get home tonight. We've been married for a couple years, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
I got 2 kids. Yeah. You guys want kids or no?
No, I enjoy, watching the videos of your son practicing his martial arts, and it's like he's a good dad. He should keep dadding. I'll be over here on the sidelines.
Being a parent is not for everybody.
Yeah,
and I'm so happy that, I mean, of course, anyone can change their mind.
Sure.
Any couple can change their mind about having kids and what have you.
We're not to the stage where you're going to shame me into being a parent, are you?
No.
Okay.
Hell
good.
no. As a matter of fact, I applaud you, sir.
Thank you.
I applaud you for not wanting to venture into parenthood.
My efforts never get recognized, so I appreciate on this platform that someone is recognizing how good of a decision that is.
Because just because you got married,
Yeah.
right, doesn't mean that you can be a dad.
Thank you.
Okay? Because I know some people, you don't need to be a parent.
Right.
Sorry. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
But you would make a terrible dad. Or you would make a terrible mom. And as terrible as that is for me to say, I'm sorry. But that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Because being a parent is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's the hardest thing ever.
And you chose to do it twice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We'll put a stop to that. Yeah, it's the hardest thing ever. It is the most challenging, the most.
You can say rewarding now.
Well, yeah. I just want to get through the tough part.
Okay.
It's so tough to be a parent, to be a good parent. It's so tough. People that don't have kids, they think they understand. You don't have a clue how hard it is. But having said that, though, it is very rewarding, if done properly.
Yeah. Because
I get sleepless nights. Over my own kids.
Yeah.
Like, am I doing this right? God, I hope I'm not messing them up.
I would have. I actually thought about this the other day when I was watching one of your Instagram stories. It was your son was on the pool deck and he was practicing
solo on his own.
Yeah, on his own. It's like he must be really proud
Super proud.
now, and
Super
it's got to
proud.
be moments like that.
Those moments they happen, but then there's those opposite moments too, which you're like, ah. I mean, I get them like everybody else, and everyone thinks, hey, Master J is great with kids. He knows everything about parenting.
That's what I think.
All that stuff. No, I don't. Okay, I don't. I do my best, and I know what works. Sometimes, most of the time.
Yeah.
But it is on a case-by-case basis a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
seems like you're having a lot of fun.
I am.
Yeah.
I am enjoying life. Now, hold on. Having said that, though, I've had 3 days of pure rage monkey in me. I call it rage monkey. That's something, I don't know, man, maybe the time of the month for me.
Uh-huh.
Where
it's a thing.
I just want to just blast through a wall, whatever it is. And I know it's subconscious. I know for me, there were a couple things that I had on my plate that I wanted to accomplish that I can't do it right now. And it's eating at me. It's eating at me because I don't want to say I'm a goal-oriented person because I think everyone's a goal-oriented person at the end of the day, I just, there's things that I want to do, and if I can't do them, I get frustrated.
So are these like life things of like I wanted to do this by
it's like right now it's business related. It is business related. I'm looking for a new space for the dojo, and it's high time. Everything is so pricey right now.
Yeah.
Even to move into another bigger spot, the cost per square foot they're asking for is like, why would I want to move there into a bigger spot which is going to cost me more, and I'm going to have that much more in students in order to equal out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's folly.
Yeah.
It's folly. And so it's like, I just need to be patient and wait for the right opportunity.
What's great to hear though is I remember us. I think we were having a conversation over cocktails at one point, and you were just opening your current dojo, and going over.
Beyond, yeah.
And here we are, just a short time later. You're looking for bigger space.
I underestimated the market
so
substantially.
Yeah.
I severely underestimated the market opening up the new spot because 2,500 square feet doesn't cut the mustard.
Yeah, that's great though.
It just doesn't. Yeah. So anyway, I mean,
Karate Beyond.
Karate Beyond. Yeah,
Love it.
Anyway, this is a question I ask everybody, and you're familiar with this question, so I don't have to say much about it. What do you want? What do you want? And you can give the esoteric answer, of course, but then you can get the completely superficial material answer too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a question that as human beings, you should probably ask yourself that frequently, because if you're evolving like we all should be and strive to, that answer should be perpetually changing, right? So, what I wanted today versus what I wanted 10 years ago is diametrically different. And what I want today is different from what I wanted a year ago. So, it sounds so corny to say, but I just, I want to be happy. I want to be healthy, and I want to take care of the people around me. I think that's in light of some recent family events. I really just want happiness and health for my family, and I want to do everything I can to provide that. The older I get, I just there's this colonization mentality that has kind of consumed me, and if you're within my sphere, I want to take care of you.
Right.
And that's what I want. I want to care for people. I want people to know that I truly care about them and love them. And that's going to sound real corny to some.
I could see that, though.
But I want that.
Nice.
Spread the love.
Spread the love. Yeah. Okay. Now, what do you want materialistically?
What do I want materialistically?
Because I see the
you're gonna
benzo.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know me, man. Come on. Yeah. I see the benzo outside. I like it, and I said, why didn't you get the XX instead if you're gonna go for something like that? But you're like, hey, I like the interior.
Yeah. I like the interior. I like the color. I'm not much of a car guy. I got in it, and it went vroom vroom. It felt nice, and it was like,
you're a car guy.
Let's do this. This seems reasonable.
Now you're a car guy.
Yeah.
I love it when people say, I'm not really into cars, and then they get a nice car, and then all of a sudden now they're really into cars.
Yeah. So, I guess I kind of sold out. I was driving a couple cars before this. I was driving a Honda Insight, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's the Honda version of the Prius.
Yeah.
And I love the car. And, my friends would say, why are you driving that? It's like, I love it. And I would put it on econ mode. So when, it came to a red light, the AC and everything would turn off and the car would go silent. And anyone riding with me would start sweating their balls off. And I was like, listen, man, I'm trying to save the world here. Are you with me or are you against me? Do you hate the earth? Then just shut up. So,
but little do you know that what it took the planet Earth to create that insight.
That's right. Let me go. Let me go. Plug my car in to this electrical source right here.
Lithium batteries. I'll leave you with that.
Yeah. So, what material thing do I want? Let me just pivot from that and say that I have a love of adventure, and materialistically, I would like to have another plane ticket to my next destination.
Nice.
Where we can, my wife and I, and whatever friends that may go with us, can create more memories, because that's what fuels me. Just again, making more memories, making love, and just enjoying life.
Well, I've got a laundry list going now of people that want to go with to the next Korea trip. So
you can have
if you want to go, we'll get ourselves a nice big steaming pot of live animals.
So we should do like a trade-off. I mean, we're going to be on that side of the world.
I'm down to go to Thailand.
We'll do a couple nights in Bangkok, and
yeah. I want to go to the fights.
Yeah,
I do. That's my thing. I like it.
We'll do it. I want to go again.
Yeah. All right. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Hey, dude, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not wait 58 more episodes.
Thank you for listening to the Jae Choe Show. Brought to you by Karate Beyond. Discipline, focus, confidence. KarateBeyond.com. Martial arts classes for men, women, and children. After school pickup, evening classes, and summer camp. Visit KarateBeyond.com.